All hail the beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm B, and on this channel we help improve your confidence by way of compliments using the wonderful world of fragrance. If this is your second video or more, we ask that you hit the subscribe button so you can come back to rock with your boy. Listen, if you've ever done a YouTube search or Google search for men's fragrance, you've likely come across Creed Aventus. And Creed Aventus is a good fragrance. It has a huge following, but it also comes with a huge price tag. As one of the world's most popular fragrances, at least here in the US, it's extremely popular for those who are into fragrances, all right? This fragrance is popular and it stands out and people know about it. It's in the hip hop culture, it's in pop culture, and at the end of the day, people buy it for some of those reasons. But today I'm going to give you some other fragrances that are a little less expensive than these guys, the OG and the Cologne version here. There are Creed Aventus niche dupes, okay? So these fragrances also come from niche fragrance houses that decided, hey, I like what you're doing, but I think I like my twist on it a little bit more. So without any further ado, we'll hop in today's list, and I would love to hear from you down below in the comment section, because that is all wild and untamed down there. I would love to know some of your favorite Creed Aventus dupes. I think I'll mention these fragrances in order of appearance on my channel. And the first fragrance I want to talk about comes from the house of Bond, and this one is bond9.com, also known as Bond number 9 HTTP. This is the one with the QR code on the front. If you scan this, it's going to take you to Bond's website. Pretty cool marketing there. Well, I guess you need to have the fragrance in hand for that to even work. But nonetheless, this fragrance does smell similar to Creed Aventus, but this one is different. To me, this one has this creamy component to it that I really do enjoy, but it's not as smoky as what you would get in Creed Aventus. So if you don't like that aspect of Aventus, then I think that this one could be a good fragrance for you. Now, also within this Bond number 9 lineup, there's another fragrance that's often, compared to Creed Aventus, which is Bond number 9 Scent of Peace for Him. Listen, this fragrance here, HTTP, is probably one of the better ones in my personal opinion. If you're looking at exploring the house of Bond and you want something that is fresh, it's sophisticated, this is one of those scents that I urge you to try. HTTP or bond9.com is sharp, it's contemporary. You have that juniper berry, you have pineapple, you have bergamot, all of the usual suspects as it comes down to Aventus, but it has a different twist to it that I think is enjoyable. HTTP bond9.com is on the list today of a Aventus dupe from a niche house. Next up, we have a fragrance release from the house of Mancera that I really enjoy, and I think many of you out there do too. This one is Cedrat Bois, and this fragrance is one that is high up on my list, whether it's a Aventus dupe or not. This fragrance really does its thing. Now, what I'll tell you about this fragrance is I traditionally take this one with me. I pack this one up in the bag if I'm traveling, and this one goes with me on the planes, all right? This fragrance really does, it just garners compliments. It smells sophisticated, but it also has this fresh, fruity component to it that really is understated within this fragrance too, because there's this smoky element within this scent that can be overshadowing to those fresh and fruity notes, but together it comes along well. Originally, this fragrance was released as a unisex scent, and I could see that. In fact, I can see that with all of these fragrances, although personally, I find that these fragrances lean a bit more masculine. I personally think that this fragrance is a modern day classic, and I think a lot of you out there will kind of have that same approach and mindset with this fragrance. Now, like most of these fragrances on today's list, including Aventus, this one is a niche fragrance, so to speak, and it has a higher price tag than most, except if you highlight my people over at FRAGRANCEUSA.com, because they got you locked in. Just like Cedrat Bois, they have most of the fragrances on today's list available on their site, and you can select them, try them out, see which one best suits you. If you're looking for a price that is below retail, then holla at my people. Not only will you get discounted prices, you're also going to get fast shipping. You're also going to get 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. You're also going to get that 100% authenticity guarantee. And you're also going to get, well, peace of mind. Why? Because you saved a little bit of coin along the way, and you know that you're going to get that real deal. Boom, boom, Evander Holyfield. All right, this fragrance is a standout gem in my personal opinion, just like the others that we have talked about and we will talk about. But you guys know how much I enjoy this fragrance if you've been around on this site, and just don't take my word for it. Type it in. You'll find a lot of people talking about it, because it's not just me. Now, speaking of fragrances that don't just have my support, this next one, listen, I was turned on to this fragrance by my guy Dan over that channel, Scented Waters. If you're not subscribed to him yet, I'm not sure what you've been waiting on. Click the goddamn bell. All right, listen, this fragrance he sent me originally in form of a tester. I immediately finished smelling it and purchased it. All right, this and a lot of other fragrances from them as well, just based upon this one. So this fragrance comes from Nishane, and this one is Hacivat. Now, Hacivat is also available at FRAGRANCEUSA.com. You can pick it up at a discounted price there, but this fragrance here, to me, is a masterpiece. All right, it does have this Aventus vibe, but it's not exactly the same, just like the other fragrances that we're talking about today. One of the key things about this fragrance that really does it for me is its performance. I get phenomenal performance on this fragrance, and people have been talking about, you know, the latest Aventus batch variations and how they don't perform as good. And listen, I can neither confirm nor deny that statement. I get that all the time. But to be quite frank, I haven't gone out there to purchase a new bottle, simply because I have so many Aventus clones, and I also have Aventus Cologne available to me that I'm like, yeah, do I need it? I think I do, simply because, well, this is what I do, and I would like to get another bottle, but it's not very high on my list, because if I want something that smells like it, I have a lot of other fragrances available, and this one here, my friends, is one of those that are top tier for sure. With Nishane, you're going to get something that is high class, right? You get that quality feel to it from the presentation, box smell, distribution. Listen, everything you could want in a fragrance, everything that people are complaining that is missing from newer batches of Creed is available in this one here, and it's also available at my people at FRAGRANCEUSA.com. Just saying that. All right, boom. I'm gonna leave this one down now because I don't want to talk about it too much. I don't want everybody going out there to pick it up. All right, but if you do pick it up, make sure you utilize my discount code to save yourself some more money along the way. This next fragrance was released in 2015 and was the 10th fragrance in this company's lineup here. This fragrance has black pepper, bergamot, leather, cord. You have some jasmine here, and this fragrance is a fighter. This fragrance is the Orchid Man from Frapin. All right, so on the side of here you have some of the notes on this fragrance, but it's written in French, so I don't know what it says. All right, but nonetheless here, this fragrance is a super nice scent here. As we mentioned, we're talking about Aventus Dupes, okay? And this fragrance is, well, an Aventus dupe from a niche house. Well, niche in a way, because they also do liquor, and I'm going to call them niche. Now, what I will say is they try to dress this one up nicely, all right? They put something nasty in your mouth and tell you it is marshmallow cream. Not that this fragrance smells bad, because it doesn't at all. But they had this whole story about this fragrance, about the inspiration, boxer, etc. Listen, you released in 2015. We know that this was a spin-off on Aventus. It is what it is, all right? I said it. But nonetheless, this fragrance does smell good. They did things really well. They grabbed a great perfumer to do the scent, and everything ties together well in this fragrance. But there has been slight, I guess, complaints on performance from time to time. But to me, I don't get that. Now, what I'll tell you, although there is leather within this fragrance, it doesn't have that leather accord or feel that I get in the original OG Aventus, and it also doesn't come off as smoky as I get in Aventus. This one is a bit lighter. It's not as strong to punch you in the face or sting the nostrils. If I had to relate it to something more closely, I guess I would say Aventus Cologne, but Aventus Cologne wasn't out yet, so maybe it was on a boxer. I'm not sure. All right, what I'll tell you is that this fragrance here does smell great. Will you get compliments with this fragrance or any other fragrance on today's list? Yes. Will you smell different than most people? Yes. Will you smell different than most frag heads? No. All right, because this fragrance does smell very similar to Creed Aventus. All in all, enjoyable scent. I have a full review on this fragrance as well as all of the other fragrances that we talked about so far. So if you want to see more in depth in terms of performance, projection, all of that stuff, then be sure to check those out, and I'll try to leave them linked and listed down below for you as well if I can remember. If I forget to do it, somebody write in the comment section and I will be sure to do it. All right, and the fifth and final fragrance on today's list is from a company that I'd have a hard time pronouncing their name. It is what it is, all right? But the fragrance is called Morning Chest, all right? This is probably the most interesting presentation out of all of the fragrances that we talked about. And listen, this fragrance, I got like this booklet that came along that just showed all of the fragrances that this company offers. And this one is Vilhelm Parfumerie, all right? Hopefully I said that correctly. Yeah, Morning Chest, okay? So when we talk about fragrances that have that Aventus vibe, it does, but it doesn't. This one is this soft, like blanket of all of those Aventus-like notes, but it doesn't quite smell the same. Similar, but not quite the same. One of the key things I like about this fragrance is that, because although you can tell there was some inspiration or tie it back to it, it doesn't smell like it at all, but it does. It's so weird. Now, when I said that this fragrance is softer, I won't say like it's like doesn't perform as great. That's not what I'm saying. This fragrance has not as sharp feel as that you would get in like the Aventus vibe there. There's this subtle, subdued bergamot within this fragrance that kind of ties back to it, that pineapple that people think of, and that bergamot more so what they think of when they're thinking of Aventus, although they're thinking of pineapple. Like, what did you just say? All right, all in all, man, this fragrance smells the way the distribution is, right? Listen, green, fruity, all around amazing scent here. Listen, I think anyone out there watching this video would be happy and excited to have any of these fragrances that we talked about today in their collection. All of these fragrances have a Aventus vibe to them, right? But they are different in their own right, and they are all great in their own right as well. I would love to know what you think about these fragrances and what other niche fragrances out there are you really vibing with that kind of have that Aventus feel. Now listen, you could just say, you know what, B, I'm sticking to the OG Creed Aventus. If I'm going to stray away, I'm going to go with Creed Cologne, Creed Aventus Cologne, and that's fine too, all right? As long as you're shopping with my people at FRAGRANCEUSA.com and utilizing my code to save yourself some money, okay? I think that's the fair way to do it. But you could probably pick up 2 bottles for the price of one regular price bottle on a Saks or something like that, although I still love my people. All right, so there you have it, man. Those are 5 fragrances, all right, I think are enjoyable. What are 5 fragrances on your list that are Creed niche dupes, all right? Creed Aventus dupes, but from niche companies. I would love to know. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beard. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. You already know what I need you to do. Holler at my people over at FRAGRANCEUSA.com. But before you go, hit the goddamn